What's up, Weirdlings? I'm Shannon and welcome to another episode of Mouth Noise. We're gonna do something a little bit different than I usually do, which is sit and sort of talk about myself for the day, which is gonna be kind of weird, right? I've not done this before, I guess, or, so, usually I'm talking about music or just music or singing. But today I want to talk about something that has been brought up in the YouTube sphere recently, and it's this idea of growing up white. So Miles J and a few other YouTubers here on the site have been making videos about this idea of like what growing up white is, right? And what their experiences were with that sort of thing. I watched their videos and I felt like I needed to contribute to the conversation because it's something so deeply personal to me that resonates with me, and I couldn't not make a video to contribute to the conversation. So if you watch my music stuff and you're usually here for the songs, this is not gonna be anything like that at all. This is just like an all about Shannon, let's get to know Shannon's experience in life. But I hope that you'll still stick around and contribute to the conversation. I think that it is something that's super important for a lot of people of color growing up right now, especially. And I just like, there's so much of me that like went through this enormous like transformation throughout life that I feel like I have to help other people that are going through these same things. So yeah, I guess that's a long introduction to the conversation. But let's just dive in. So today I really want to like delve into like my own experiences and sort of analyze this idea of like being called the Oreo, right? Or being like white on the inside, and what that means from both from my perspective and how I interpret that coming from both non-Black people and from Black people, and how those two things intersect within my own life and how that has made me the person that I am today. I grew up in a town called Lake Dallas, Texas. Teeny little town. You pass through it in like less than probably like 30 seconds, honestly, on the highway. So predominantly white town, where I went to all 13 years of school. I was a 13-year senior. So from age 4 to 18, that's where I was. Because the town was such a white town, I was surrounded by white people. Children mimic the things that they see around them whenever they are developing, right? Like they parrot the people around them. So the way that I was acting was like the other people that I was surrounded with. And the interests that I had were similar interests to the people I was surrounded with. Growing up, I was nerdy, right? But that's like not associated with Blackness. So so people didn't really know how to understand me, or I didn't typically fit what people thought a Black girl was supposed to be. So I would often get the critique like, oh, Shannon, like, you're not really Black though, like you're white on the inside. These other people that were surrounding me that were saying this to me at my high school or at my middle school were saying it as if it was a compliment, and every single time that they would say something like that, like I would always feel just really gross on the inside. Like it would make me feel really bad, and I didn't understand why that was. Like I would always understand that it was their intentions were to make me feel good and like welcomed and just, part of this community, right? But at the same time, you can't tell me that I'm not something that I am so undeniably, inherently, like that I am. Like it is in front of you. Like how do you ignore something so blatantly that's in front of your eyes? There's so many things that are wrong with being called white on the inside, or there's so many things wrong with calling somebody white on the inside, and there are so many different ways that hurts the person that gets called that. When a non-Black person, right, looks at you and says like, oh, you're not really Black, they're saying it as a compliment, but that compliment is also saying like other Black people are bad, but you are a good Black person. Like, which can we like, I'm like, let's take a moment to examine that sentence. Like, if I am not like other Black people and therefore you are accepting me because I am not like them, that means that them is not a good thing that you want to be around. On the other hand, when it comes from a Black person, it means something completely different. And so I want to give a disclaimer, like, obviously, like, I love my family so much, like, but also the people that you love and the people that surround you can still say things that can hurt your feelings. I have my diary from when I was, from whenever I was like 16 years old, I think this is. This is just a few of the things that they said to me that sent me reeling into like insecurity within who I was, within my own race. So that's fun. Must be a white girl thing. Shannon, you truly are white. What black college should I enroll you in? Just give me a name. And oh no, following that, oh no, it'd be too much of a culture shock. And following that, I wrote, and I know they're joking, but it makes me feel like they don't accept me for who I am. It really hurts. It makes me just not want to talk. They make me not want to speak up in a room full of black people. Because I'm always scared that I'm gonna be made fun of. The last sentence says, I'm ashamed to be me. Why am I crying on camera so much? Oh my god. Obviously, like 8 years after I wrote that, it still hurts, right? I had a lot of fear that I would be ostracized because I didn't know what songs were popular. Like, I didn't fit in because the people that I was surrounded by were interested in things like scene music, like MySpace culture. And that's what I was interested in too, because that's what I thought was cool, because that's what was around me. And so every time I would go home and spend time with my family, I would feel like I was the black sheep, ironically, right? Because of the whiteness. And so it was really hard growing up and realizing that, like, there are so many different things that go into being black that have nothing to do with what society tells you being black is. This idea of being authentically black, being the right kind of black, like, is not real. Blackness is more than a Medea movie, right? Like, it's more than a Tyler Perry movie. There's so much more that goes into that. This idea that you're not really black if you speak a certain way, or you don't listen to certain music, or you can't dance. Like, not all black people can dance, not all black people can sing, like, not all, just the same way that not all people of any race can do anything. People are vastly different in themselves, like, within their own bodies. And so, but coming to terms with that, and coming to terms with the fact that there are other people who feel this way that I do also. Like, there are other black people that don't feel like they fit in with into this little box of what the media tells you that blackness is. And still, I'll go to parties now and people will look at me when, like, Nicki Minaj's Anaconda starts playing, and they'll expect me to twerk, and I look at them like, I'm not here to entertain you right now. Like, just because I'm black does not mean that I'm about to start twerking. Why are you not asking anyone else in the room to start twerking? Why are you just looking at me? But then on the other side of my brain, I'm thinking, well, if I don't, then they won't think that I'm, like, really black. Which is so dumb. But that is what years and years and years and years and years of being told that I'm not black enough has made me feel. And so, like, growing into realizing that I don't have to be anything other than myself in order to be black, because my blackness is an inherent part of who I am. I can never not be black. Like, that's impossible. Like, there's no way. And so I guess I just wanted to make this video today because I think I'm a huge believer that representation matters, and that young Black kids who are into things like anime and like show tunes and like just random stuff that like is not usually associated with Blackness can realize that it's okay to like those things. You don't have to like things just because you're Black. Like, you don't have to force yourself to be into the latest Black trends because you are Black. Like, you can just like the things that you like. Fall into whatever internet hole you fall into that interests you and run with it. So long as it's not, you know, like violent or homophobic. I wish that I had somebody who could say like, it's okay to just be you, and who could explain to me why I was feeling the way that I was feeling. So hopefully this helped in some way. I cried again. And I'll probably always cry when I think about stuff like that, because it's important and it shaped me and made me who I am, and that's okay. But for real though, I swear to God, if anyone who watches this video thinks that it's okay, like leaves this video thinking that it's okay to call somebody white on the inside, y'all, we need to have a conversation one-on-one, just you and me. I'll take you to Starbucks. Let's go. I'm like, it looks like I just like put a bunch of highlighter just like underneath my nose. But now it's just snot. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Press the little notification bell button down there so you make sure that you don't miss anything. And also follow me on Twitter at Shannon. Sometimes I like to talk about stuff like this. Sometimes I'm just talking about music. Either way, I will talk to you if you talk to me. So let's talk to each other. I'll see y'all next time.